we are going to test out the Cover FX mattifying primer with acne treatment. Okay, it says that it is supposed to prevent and heal blemishes, and I got some beauties today, even though I probably will not be putting it down there. And it's supposed to mattify instantly, so we'll see that. You can see that, I mean, I did just get out of the shower and I have moisturizer on, so I'm a little shiny. But it mattifies instantly, reduces oil. So once I put this on, I'm just going to put it on one side of my face, and then we can kind of compare throughout the day. I'm going to use my Jouer. I'm going to put it on the right side of my face. See if it mattifies instantly. It is a very clear, because it has silica in it, clear primer. I have to remember to just put it on the side, one side of my face. Okay, it's on. It definitely has a different type of texture than the Ulta Matte Prime. It looks the same, but it's not as smooth feeling on the fingers as the Ulta Matte Prime. The Ulta Matte Prime kind of feels almost like a baby powder smooth kind of on my face. This is a little bit more tacky, but not sticky, if that makes sense. I do feel like it did mattify just a tiny bit, which is better than nothing. And I wonder if makeup will stick to this a little bit more, because it does have just a little bit of a tacky kind of feeling. So let's zoom it on in and see my skin. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but right here it is a little bit less shiny than over here. I did do just the side of my nose. My nose and stuff, like right in the middle, is going to be really hard to tell. Right here is a little bit less shiny, but I mean, there's still definitely shine there. It didn't like mattify as much as I would love. And it didn't get rid of the pores. Like, it did get rid of the shininess. It got rid of the shininess, I feel like, but I don't feel like my pores are less visible, which I would assume that would be part of mattifying, but maybe not. Maybe they were just focused on shininess. Either way, right now, I still kind of am interested to see how it goes, because I do feel like I like it a little bit so far. So we'll see. I'll check back in about 20, maybe 30 minutes when I get the rest of my makeup on, and we can see it right after I put makeup on, and then I will check in. Okay, here is what I look like with my makeup on, and I think my skin looks so good today. Well, my face looks so good. From here on down, not so much, you know. But like, I mean, I know it's not this product because I only have it on half my face, but I think my skin looks really good today. Alright, I will zoom in a second, but I don't feel like there's really much of a difference, and I just put my makeup on, so I feel like what's going to tell more is, of course, like what it's going to look like in 4, 8, 6, 10 hours, whatever. But, I mean, it went on nicely. There's no weirdness going on, because occasionally I've tried primers and stuff, and even immediately it looks funny. So just so you know what I used on my face, because I didn't put as much on as I normally would, because I want to make sure that you guys can see the primer, is I just have a very little bit of contour, a little bit of blush over my Jouer foundation. So I don't have anything else on. I don't have like a finishing spray or finishing powder or any of that jazz, because I want to see how that works. But I also needed to put a little bit of blush and contour on, because I didn't want to look like a weirdo. Let's zoom in. If we look at these two, this might be a little bit glossier still, I don't know, but I feel like in the mirror when I looked earlier, they looked pretty much the same. So you can kind of see right here, I feel like kind of looks about the same. Remember, I put it on the right side of my face, and then yeah, I think it kind of looks the same. Of course, I'm zooming in so that you can make your own decisions as well. I will check back in, I don't know, probably 3-4 hours and do kind of like a midpoint, and then I'll check in the evening, and we'll see how it lasts. It has been about 4.5, almost 5 hours, and I just wanted to do a check-in, and I definitely notice a difference close up, and I didn't really expect to. So when I zoom into my skin, there's a lot more moisture over here, a lot more oil that's pushing my makeup to the surface. So it definitely looks a little bit it like is a little bit more shiny on this side, and kind of uneven looking in my skin. And then right here at my chin is always like a bad area, because it's definitely a dry and then very oily area, so it always kind of has issues. And then this is where I break out a lot. So anyway, you can see that it's kind of almost a little bit cakey over here. It's a little bit better here. Now again, I might have stopped right in the middle, but who knows. But I did make sure that my T-zone had some of the Cover FX on it, and I think the best areas to really tell are like right here, because we know we put it right here, maybe the edge of my nose, and along this side. Right. I'm gonna zoom in. And I also don't think my face looks as good as it did before, like my skin, like must have just been like a good hour. So I don't know if you can see that right here, it's just a little bit more shiny, but the makeup looks to be surfacing a little bit more. Right here, definitely. It looks like my concealer is kind of pushing up through, because I did put just a little bit of concealer right there because it was really red. But I feel like that it looks very similar on the side, I feel like it looks very similar, but that this side definitely looks worse, especially right here. So compare it to right here. This is the side again that has the Cover FX primer on it. Okay, I'll zoom in just a little bit more. So this is the side without, and this doesn't have any primer. I didn't put on any primer. Okay, and this is my skin that has the Cover FX primer. And some of those little flecks are fallout from my glitter eyeshadow. So I don't know if you can see. So this is the side with. This is the side without. And I do feel like you can see my pores a little bit more here too. You can also see some redness, and I think it's just sending the stuff to the front. And let's look up here. I might have to zoom out a little bit for my forehead. Look at my forehead. I do have a little bit of a wrinkle right here, so that's a little unfair. But here's my skin. And I don't feel like it looks too terribly different, but there is just a little bit more shine over here. You can see the pores a little bit more. I feel like this has helped mattify, you know, after the oil action starts, and to keep my makeup staying. It maybe wasn't instantly mattifying like it said, but I definitely think it's helping now. I'll come back and check in when I'm wearing this at least 8 hours. I'd like to check in and see what 8 to 10 hours looks like, so that it's been through at least a week. It's been close to 12 hours since I put my makeup on and put this primer on. Remember, it was supposed to mattify and help with acne and stuff, which we're not going to be able to really tell much with the acne unless I used it over a long period of time, which this tube is real tiny, and I think I could probably get like a week and a half out of it max. Anywho, I looked a few hours ago. It does appear that a lot of my makeup right here is kind of gone. So I did check a couple hours ago, and it was still very similar to the check-in I did just before this, where I was pretty oily and my makeup was being pushed off a little bit more on this, but this side was a little bit more matte. So I don't think this is like majorly impressive, like miracle, but do I think it's helped? Yes. We'll go in and look at my skin now, but just looking, I have a little mirror here, just looking at this mirror, like I had a Stitch Fix come earlier, so I filmed that video, and I don't know if you've noticed, like I've changed, probably in this video it looks like I've changed twice, but during the Stitch Fix I changed, so I don't know if I just somehow rubbed it off, but I was pretty careful, and normally I would rub more up here and down here. So anyway, I talk too much. Let's zoom it in and look. I'm so tired. Alright, so before zooming in like really harsh, and I'm going to look over at the viewfinder and try to see. You can kind of see right here. This is the side that I had it on. I feel like they pretty much kind of look the same. There's a little bit more fallout from my eye makeup still looks pretty good. There's a little bit of fallout from my eye makeup more so on this. So if you do see some of the glitters, that's from that. But I feel like they kind of look pretty much the same. I don't think one looks more matte or glossy. My blush still looks kind of left there, but I don't feel like anything else looks like it's still there. Maybe I didn't really put the primer all the way up here, but maybe my concealer is still a little bit there. So anyway, there's not much of a difference. Right here, I was messing with that earlier, sorry. I don't feel like it looks much different either. My redness has come back, so that's also another indicator how I know that a lot of the product is no longer there, like the foundation and stuff. So up here is, I feel like, going to show us where, because I do know that there's still foundation and stuff there. So, and we can see that it's a lot more glossy. And I'll tell you that maybe some of this is, earlier I was a lot glossier because I was out, I was running around, I was doing a lot of things, and then I came home, did my Stitch Fix videos, and I've been editing for 6 hours. So like the past 5 to 6 hours I've just been kind of sitting, and I'm not sure, maybe my face doesn't get as oily, although I wasn't like working out or anything earlier, but I was out on the town, I was in the cold, I was in my car, I had the heat on, I was in and out of different buildings, I went to eat, all that stuff. So I don't know if that makes a difference, because my face somehow was a little less oily than it was earlier, and I did not pat it. So let's zoom in. So I've zoomed in even further, and like I said, this is going to be the spot where you can tell a little bit more. And I feel like this side does look maybe a tiny bit more oily, and we're going to assume that I put it mostly on this side, so don't look right here in the middle because I don't know, but compare it to like right here to right here, I feel like my left side does look just a little bit more oily. Beyond that, I think it looks about the same. So like I said, midday, I'm going to look right here, because I definitely put it right here and right here. Midday, it did seem to show more of an impact than it is now. So that would probably be the best indicator. So I don't think it's like a major difference or anything. I don't know how much this is. I know Cover FX is kind of a pricier brand, so I'm assuming this is pretty expensive. And I'll try to remember to link it below, like Sephora, and remember to use Ebates, because like I once got like 10% off at Sephora. I think normally it's like 5%, but like I've gotten like 5%, 10% to 8% back at Sephora, and you know, all that money adds up. Ulta's normally like 3, but I like Ulta better. Anyway, this is normally pricey, and although I do see that it has worked a little bit, I doubt it's worth the money. So I'll try to link that below. I do like the feeling of it. I do feel like my makeup looked really nice when I put it on, but like I said, I thought it looked really nice on this side too, so it probably had nothing to do with this. It felt a little bit tacky, not like really sticky, not really, really tacky, but it felt tackier than the other ones I'm used to that are silicone based, so I'm not sure if that was, you know, if that had any effect on anything, but I'm assuming that you would only want to try this if you were more normal to oily girl. Dry girls it probably wouldn't be the best for, and I would say I'm going to use the rest of the sample. I don't think it's crap, but it's probably not worth the price, but I would like to try more Cover FX because I don't have a lot of their products, and a lot of their stuff I've seen, I'm like, oh, I wish I had that, or I wish I could try that, and they're cruelty free, of course, or I would not be showing you. I would not be reviewing this. Alright, thanks for watching. Please remember, if you were thinking about getting a pet, please check your local rescues and animal shelters, and I'll see you later. Bye.